It's the final destination. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, for real this time. Not the Final Destination, but Final Destination 5 so far is the end of the Final Destination franchise. And if you ask me, this is probably where they should end it. I mean, I don't think there's anything else that can be gained from this. I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
There's always more crazy Rube Goldberg ways to take people out that you could think of. But...
Yeah, but is it really necessary?
No.
I mean, after enough time passes, maybe you could resurrect it.
Still try to cash in on it at some point, though.
Let's see if there's any life for that. Final Destination film series.
There was a 6 in the works prior to the pandemic.
And then, as soon as they were going to start going into production, the SAG-AFTRA strike started. Principal photography was set to begin in Vancouver, British Columbia, July 7th, 2024. Interesting.
Has that strike ended yet? I forget.
Yes. Yeah, it ended in November.
Both parts of it?
Yes. The writer's strike ended before that. And then the the actor's strike ended. But yeah, this to me is my favorite Final Destination movie. I mean, the deaths, the characters, and, of course, the twist at the end, which completely caught me off guard when I first saw it. I was like, wait a second, this looks familiar.
Yeah, that would be a little hard to top.
Yeah.
Like with another one.
Coming full circle.
I don't think another one would ever actually be able to do what this one pulled off.
I don't think so either.
It's already been done, and it's one of those things you can only do once, you know?
Yeah. God. Well, Final Destination 5 kill count. We didn't wait 4 years to get back to this one like we did with Final Destination 4. But I guess let's go ahead and check it out. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's go. Oh, also, we did a reaction to this, so if y'all want to see that, there'll probably be a link to it somewhere in the description down below. So yeah, anyway. It also had a lot of funny little ad-lib edits from Nick.
That was like one of the first like major editing projects I think I did, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
For the channel.
Yeah, and you killed it. No pun intended.
I tried.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Jenyns, and it's time to wrap up another franchise with the actual Final Destination, Part 5, which came out in 2011. Like the previous entry, Final Destination 5 was filmed and released in 3D, but unlike the previous entry, Part 5 is not a heaping pile of shit. To me, Part 5 is a huge step up over the previous two films, mostly because of two things: characters and tone. Although this entry still has a handful of shitbags running around, including the requisite creeper, most everyone feels like a real, believable person, and the one who isn't, the cartoonish pervert, is at least played by a talented character actor and properly portrayed as a sleazebag. Plus, the leads are among the best in the franchise, including Miles Fisher giving perhaps the greatest performance out of all of these movies, which shouldn't be a surprise because Miles Fisher is fucking dope. If you're unfamiliar with this dude, who looks like the love child of Tom Cruise and Christian Bale, you
I could see it.
should probably make yourself familiar pronto. Not only did he once sell weed to the junior employees of Sterling Cooper,
I'm Peggy Olson, and I want to smoke some marijuana.
he's also a talented musician.
What
And in
movie
fact, he
was
made
that
a
again?
Oh, that was Mad Men.
Oh, okay.
That was the TV series.
music video for his song New Romance, featuring the cast of this movie in a gory Saved by the Bell parody. It's a hilarious video.
That's awesome.
Gas song, so you should probably check it out. And when you're done there, go watch his other music video that parodies American Psycho for his cover of This Must Be the Place by Talking Heads. That song is actually me and Chelsea's song, and with American Psycho being one of her favorite horror movies, that video was basically tailor-made for us. Okay, I'll stop gushing about Miles Fisher for now. The tone of this movie is also an improvement for the series, since it manages to balance the dark suspense of the
I saw what you did there with that edit. Balance beam.
original
You're smart, James. You're so smart.
film with some lighthearted humor, while never veering too hard into the cynical snark so prevalent in Part 4. This change in tone and quality may stem from the new talent behind the camera here. Instead of having a repeat writer or director, all new dudes were brought in for Part 5, namely director Stephen Quayle and writer Eric Heiserer, whose very odd screenplay history includes the dreadful Nightmare on Elm Street remake and the 2011 Thing prequel, which...
Yeah, it's kind of surprising this ended up being as good as it was.
Well,
then.
here's what I'll say. Both of these films suffered from, on multiple fronts. Screenplay, I don't think it's the worst thing.
The Elm Street was.
I would say it was more
Elm
studio
Street
meddling.
was straight up garbage.
I would say it was studio meddling what led to that.
I don't know.
Well, dude, Jackie Earle Haley, I think, could have been a pretty damn good Freddy Krueger if they would have let him go all in on it. But instead, they were like, we want you to be more like Robert Englund. It's like, then fucking hire Robert Englund.
They changed like half the fucking setup and plot to it and everything. It was just stupid.
I guess, but...
Also, they took all the subtlety out of it and just went for pure shock value, you know? Like...
Once again, you can
The
chalk
whole
that up
thing was
to
it
the...
was very much implied that he could have been like a child predator.
Well,
Like not just a child murderer, but like they just full on were like, yeah, he's a child predator in the fucking remake, and like that was one of the main things that I was just like,
then what's the point?
so not subtle, man. Like compared
Yeah.
to how they played it out originally, like
Well, this is my whole deal with just the like, once again, studio meddling. I would love to have read the original screenplay to see what it was like, because I hate to say it, but a lot of the times, a lot of the people who write these scripts, a lot of the people who get stuck directing, a lot of people who get stuck acting in these are very dissatisfied with the end product and try to get their names removed.
and then the thing for me was just more the CG than anything else.
Yeah, the CG is what killed that film.
Yeah. It's like, to be honest, like I would have been kind of okay with it if they had have tried to do practical effects for it. You know?
Yeah.
It's
'Cause-
just- you can't make a sequel to one of the greatest practical effect films ever made and do all that fucking CG instead.
I agree, especially if you're making it a prequel.
Yeah.
Dude, Stan Winston's school is right there. Call them up, have them come over. Hell, hire some of Roger Corman's like Roger Corman's people. Have them come in. Just do something other than that.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
you know, I wasn't the biggest fan of, but also the Oscar-nominated Arrival, and
Yes, that one's great.
then the mediocre Bird Box. It's kind of hard for me to understand how the same guy wrote all of those very different movies, but hey, he did give us Arrival and Final Five, so keep doing your thing, dude. Finally, I've got some good news for the gorehounds among you. Thanks to another sponsorship by NordVPN, you'll be able to watch the explicit version of this video even if you're not a patron. Sometimes the fear of hackers getting into your personal information can be just as scary.
Well, I'm probably going to have to censor a few things. Who knows? I might throw in some of the edits that Nick did.
Is the fear of death itself. Thankfully, with NordVPN, you can encrypt your online activity with the single click of a button and protect yourself with military-grade encryption. It's available for Windows, Mac, iOS, Android, and pretty much all the operating systems you use every day. So go to nordvpn.com/deadmeat to get 75% off a 3-year plan and use the code DEADMEAT for an extra month for free. Prevent those scary visions of cyber exploitation from becoming reality by going to nordvpn.com/deadmeat, promo code DEADMEAT for 75% off a 3-year plan and an extra month for free. You can click up there or follow the link in the description for the freely available explicit version of this kill count. I only made it a separate video in case it gets age restricted or in case some viewers don't want to see the nasty stuff. Otherwise, let's see how many kills we'll close out this franchise with and get to
yeah,
them.
like you'd have to click on the separate video in order to have to censor it.
The link in the description for the freely available explicit version of this kill count.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
I only made it a separate. Otherwise, let's see how many kills we'll close out this franchise with and get to them. The movie begins with a title card and looks like it's
So in
getting
case you in the
tested by
comments are wondering why we
Mythbusters.
didn't click on that, we're a YouTube channel too. We have to
Yeah.
follow the same rules.
Yes. Even though this one's still got age restricted.
Ah, come on.
I know,
YouTube.
right?
Really?
I know.
Leave James alone. At least Nord's sponsoring him.
At least there's that.
Much like the last movies, these opening credits are real friggin' cool, and similarly evoke all the deaths we've seen throughout this series. Honestly, this makes me wish the franchise had kept going, if only for us to get a Bond-esque focus on making cooler and cooler credit sequences each time. It's the morning of a team-building retreat for paper company Presage? Our heroic herald this time through is Sam Lawton, a lowly salesman who's often joshed by his middle management friend, Peter Friedkin.
I'm saying that to you as your friend, because as your boss, I'm ready to fire your ass.
But like I always say, better to get joshed by your buds than dumped by your girlfriend. And unfortunately for Sam, his girlfriend Molly is currently dropping his ass.
It's not working out, Sam.
Then let's go to a gym. Gosh. Olivia Castle is another sales team employee for Presage, and she lives for casual Fridays, hates wearing her glasses, and is always down to give an impromptu biology lesson.
They're called tits.
Her bio student there is intern Candace Hooper, who's on tonguey terms with Peter and is also kind of a mean girl.
Have you slept with every hipster in town yet?
Like I said, some of these characters still kinda suck, but none of them suck as much as this film's piggish perv, tech support employee Isaac Palmer, played by PJ Byrne, who would go on to be in Wolf of Wall Street and Big Little Lies. The captain of this company's paper boat is Dennis Lappin,
David Koechner.
sales division manager who treats his staff like pledges.
What's my name? Dennis. Look away.
He's played by the champ himself, David Koechner, last seen on the kill/capture count, yes, it's the same thing, in Krampus. Whammy! At his command, Sam runs off to collect the final employee to board the bus, Nathan Sears, played by Arlen Escarpeta, last seen on the kill count as one of the very few sympathetic characters in the Friday the 13th reboot.
Yeah. Yeah. Him and Aaron Yu were the best part of that film.
I barely remember anything about it. It was very unmemorable for me.
Outside of Jason running, which I give Derek Mears all the credit in the world for trying his damnedest. But there is no fixing that script. There is no fixing it. I read the script. Jesus. New Line, can you get the money back that you gave that script writer? Can you, get a refund for how bad it was? Jesus. I was going to say, no wonder Hollywood's not wanting to pay these writers. I had to read that shit, and I want my money back.
Nathan was recently put in charge of some older blue-collar workers in the company's paper factory, which union rep Roy is mighty pissed about.
I got at least 15 years on you here. You got, what, 4 years in some classroom upstate?
I love that this paper company has a warehouse employee named Roy. That's gotta be intentional, right? Sam and Nathan board the bus.
Come on.
This company retreat is off. The employees watch a preview of their coming attractions and see a reminder of previous attractions before arriving at the North Bay Bridge, which in real life was played by the Lionsgate Bridge in Vancouver, the namesake of the film company Lionsgate, which was founded in the city. The first 3 Final Destinations were all filmed in Vancouver, while the 3D fourth one was filmed mostly in New Orleans. This 5th movie returns production to the V. The bridge is basically having open heart surgery while the bus drives across it, so you'd better start.
That would creep me out so much.
Well, I never drove on a bridge that had that, but there were a pair of bridges that went over the Clinch River that they diverted traffic, like onto one when they worked on one, and then they diverted it to the other one when they were working on the other one. I remember looking over and seeing these guys sawing into the concrete, and then I looked over, and then a whole section just fell out from it. I was just like,
sucks to be the fish that was swimming under that, didn't it?
no shit. But I just remember that, and I was just like, holy shit. I'm like, that could happen to us.
Paying attention to all these little specific things, Sam, because you're about to get quizzed on them real soon. In fact, death is already out there, blowing up a gale, and between those gusts of death and all this heavy machinated construction, the bridge begins to crack and crumble. By the time the Pressaga employees flee their bus, the bridge is completely falling apart, surely crushing many an Anthony Kiedis underneath. The first death of this premonition is Candace, whose impalement on a sloop results in some 3D gore. Wow. And yeah, I know that boat's a sloop.
I mean, him not censoring that's probably part of why I got age restricted.
No doubt. I'm probably going to censor it.
The main characters run towards safety.
Pretty sure I censored it when they had it.
You did. You did. You basically just like put a censor over it and you were just like, ouch. And then another one later, I guarantee he's going to talk about it.
His bathroom office to find himself in a bus that's become an elevator. Ground floor, going down. Molly manages to get to safety by minding the gap across this steel beam. But since Olivia Velmeted up earlier, she's gonna have a more difficult time getting across. Yeah, bye! Big splash! Oh wait, she's okay. Oh wait.
No, she's not.
She's about to get
Jinx.
hit by this boat of car. Nathan gets got.
Killed by a Chrysler. I always knew that's how she'd go.
By an errant cable, and Dennis is burned alive by a bunch of hot tar before falling to his death. But
that one was fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Oh.
Peter manages to Tom Cruise himself to safety across the gap, which is actually pretty funny since Miles Fisher played Tom Cruise in one of those crappy 2000s parody films, Superhero Movie.
Sure, he can fly, can't even fly.
That's true. He did. I forgot about that. Holy shit. I forgot about that. That's so eerie.
This just in, Tom Cruise is dead.
There were some bits in that film that were actually pretty funny.
Yeah, that one was.
It's across the fissure as well, right before the rest of the bridge crumbles down in an awesomely done long take until all of the debris is safely in the water below. The bridge disaster is one of the best looking of the series, I think, accomplishing a proper sense of grandeur with some solid CG for the time. They shot it in parts on both the actual bridge and in a studio using practical bridge pieces and green screen backgrounds, all under the supervision of returning stunt.
Yeah. So you have all these tools and pieces at your disposal. The actual stuff that's there, once again, this is the Christopher Nolan approach. Right here, something real has to be in the scene to anchor you into reality.
Yeah.
Everything else can be fake. See? Everything else can be perfectly faked. But as long as you have something in the scene to anchor you to reality, you're doing better than most companies out there.
Practical bridge pieces and green screen backgrounds, all under the supervision of returning stunt coordinator J.J. McCarthy.
There's one thing in that scene that throws me off slightly about it, though.
What's that?
Go back to the bridge collapsing.
Background.
So
all under the.
if you see, like, it's all shaking on the one side and swaying as it falls.
Yeah.
But this part right here is perfectly static.
Well, it's because that's
like that
where
part
the
would be moving just a little bit as well, at least.
Well, you see, it's because it's near the truss.
Yeah, supposedly. I guess that makes sense.
See, there's not as many. See, if this suspension cable right
I
here
guess all that's
snapped,
just hanging from the cable.
yeah,
It's like,
this is all like completely suspended by the cables, whereas this would still be supported mostly by the truss.
the shot was pulled back just a little bit more so I could see the truss. Maybe my brain wouldn't have thought that.
No, it's fine, dude. Oh shit, I muted it.
Backgrounds, all under the supervision of returning stunt coordinator J.J. Maccaro, who had worked on Final Destination 3. Highlights of the shooting process include Arlen Escarpeta getting yoinked by a cable, which was combined with a shot of a dummy double getting totally wrecked, and
Damn.
David Koechner getting to wear a prosthetic burn head that took a few hours in makeup to apply.
You gotta love David Koechner. He just loves having fun on set.
When it comes time for the main characters to die, we start off with some rebar rods that impart heater all over his body. Don't know what his eye is doing there, but apparently they made a practical prosthetic for Miles Fisher to wear, so that's kind of fun. Peter falls and gets a bonus splat point on his way down to the
Right there, you censored that over, and you put splat.
water, which evokes an earlier shot of a plastic barrel
I
that
think
had the same trip.
whenever he got hit with the bar, I was just like, imagine a person becoming Swiss cheese or something.
Yeah, I think that's what it's...
down. Then finally, as Molly watches, Sam gets sliced in half by some sheet metal falling. Whoa! Secret eyeball bridge. Cue the symbols that alert Sam to his
Dust in
situation,
the wind.
and thankfully, cue the immediate understanding.
We all gotta get off.
Sam convinces Molly to leave with him, and then, the other characters with names all get off the bus in turn, and so they're able to get to safety as the bridge crumbles apart in front of them, fulfilling Sam's premonition. We saw a lot of nameless randos die during Sam's vision, but a news report later once again makes my life easy by headlining that there were 86 victims in the North Bay Bridge collapse. Thanks to Sam Lawton, however, 8 of these Presage employees are not among those 86.
How did you know?
Cause this a Final Destination film, motherfucker. Cut to Courtney B. Vance as a velvety-voiced FBI agent named Block.
I'm just trying to get all the pieces of the puzzle together.
I was actually... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I also slightly wonder if the whole bridge incident wasn't slightly inspired by the Point Pleasant bridge collapse.
Ooh, maybe? I don't know.
I was just kind of thinking whenever I saw we're doing that, I was just like, Mothman.
That's true. But also, I was surprised to see Courtney B. Vance being brought into this, because he's a great actor, dude. I love Courtney B. Vance. I mean, I was just shocked to see him in this.
I've seen him in other stuff or not.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Before I start moving them around, making them fit.
Yeah, we're even back to FBI stuff, just like we had in the first one.
I'm Agent Ween. This is Agent Shrek.
Though, sadly, no cartoon ogres are anywhere to be found. Block interviews the survivors and asks them about Sam until his work is cut short by a report that reveals the true reason behind the catastrophe.
We're chalking up to high winds and structural damage from the road construction.
High winds?
Dude, you have no idea.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh, Jesus.
At a memorial service, the survivors ask Sam how he knew the bridge would collapse, but he can't answer them because he doesn't know. You know who might be able to help all y'all sad sacks out, though? William the Bloodthirsty Bloodworm.
Hell
He's
yeah.
worth his weight in blood. Yeah, Tony Todd is finally back, sounding just as goddamn cool as ever.
You all, just be careful now.
I will, Mr. Todd.
I'd love to meet him in real life and just ask him, be like, bro, if I ever die, could you give my eulogy?
I just realized that's like Corpses in his voice, isn't it?
Almost.
They have pretty similar timbre of voice, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, Corpse, I would say he's more raw than Tony Todd. Tony Todd is smooth, has a very smooth delivery, whereas I don't know, Corpses feels very raw and very, I don't know, just feels, I'm not going to say unpolished because I don't want to get my head chopped off by a bunch of Psycho Corpse Husband fans. But it has a more raw nature to it than Tony Todd's does.
I would say growly, maybe.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Just for you. Oh, we're done talking now? Okay, that's cool. Thanks. In a peculiar plot addition, Sam also works part-time at a restaurant. And he's so into cooking, actually, that he's been offered an apprenticeship in Paris. He's reluctant to take it, though, because he still wants to be around Molly, which is, in fact, why she broke up with him. So he would take that job and go to Paris. Wow, a scene with character development and actual motivations.
And not a random redhead standing around in her underwear.
Neat. Now let's get one of those famous fun kill scenes. I'm sure most of you already know what's coming and knew as soon as you laid eyes on a bunch of gymnastic equipment. But for those of you who don't, buckle up.
I was in gymnastics, and I gotta be honest, this one hit close to home.
It bothers you.
Well, it's because I saw someone come out of a double back tuck and land on their shoulder and dislocate it.
I just realized what he has right behind his arm.
Yeah.
Mousetrap.
Yep.
So that's basically what the fucking death scenes in this are like.
Yes.
This mousetrap's basically a Rube Goldberg device.
Yeah. And then there's the wrench. Tony Todd, of course. The airplane and the glasses.
Also, you know what would be another fun thing to do editing this movie-wise?
What's that?
Every single time Death is, like, putting things in motion to kill someone, play the fucking song over it.
Powerhouse, yeah. That's all. You cannot have a Rube Goldberg machine and not play Powerhouse. It's impossible.
Real banger of a kill coming up right here. Candace is beginning her final high school gymnastics practice when Death just ups and blows its way into the gym. There's a suspenseful beam scene where Candace plays the knife game, only with her feet instead of her hands and a screw instead of a knife. But it's not until she goes to the bars, which squeak with every flip, that things get real bad for reals. After another gymnast lands on that screw, Death huffs and puffs and blows a bunch of chalk into Candace's face, resulting in this.
Ooh! 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 Oh. I think I mentioned that in our reaction of, like, seeing that person completely land on their shoulder and just their arm go completely out of socket and just go limp at their side when they stood up and, like, ran off to the side.
Also, I'm still wondering why there were no big puffy mats to prevent that kind of thing.
Because there's usually a coach there to push it in whenever, like, an accident is about to occur. Because the bars are so close to the ground on that side that if the mats were there, you would hit them.
Shit!
Yeah. Also, the misdirects that they play in this scene of, like, the screw on the balance beam, the rickety bar set here.
It's like they're building tension by making you not 100% sure exactly what it is that's going to get them.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden...
from the writers, directors.
Yeah.
Bad for reals. After talking
and then all of a sudden,
resulting in this.
Honey, no diving into the shallow end of the pool.
Shit.
What did I tell you?
It's one of the simplest but most sudden and violent kills in the whole series. Yeah, maybe she looks a little cartoony, flipping around in the air like a Jedi in a prequel movie, but damn if the result's not horrific. And the gruesome aftermath was accomplished by having Candace's actor Ellen Rowe don some green screen pants while her stunt double wore a green screen top and threw her legs back like that. When the shots were combined, we got this.
Oof.
Great. Peter is left completely bereft by
folded
Candace's
in
death,
half.
and as
folded up like an accordion.
Sam
Jesus.
comforts him, he sees Bloodworth standing from afar. If I were you, Sam, I'd go talk. Oh shit, he's gone. Missed your chance again, dude. Prisa G is having a hard time at this point. What with 2/3 of their sales department having been killed, and the remaining survivors have taken to drinking through the workday. Peter's so depressed, though, that not even the sense-dulling powers of alcohol can prevent him from lashing out in anger at the wall. And after apologizing to the others,
I'm sorry,
he leaves to go return some videotapes. Although a lot A lot of Presagi's employees are dead. Unfortunately, the worst of them is still alive. Isaac descends further into revulsion by stealing from the desks of the dead, and he thinks he's hit a jackpot when he finds a still valid coupon for some fancy spa service. He strolls into the massage parlor, repping that Kill Bill-ish, and hits on the receptionist with all the grace of a jackhammer.
Ooh, slow down there a little bit. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I get it, she's attractive, but there is a certain level of just non-creepiness that you could just... Like,
there's appreciating an attractive woman, and there's objectifying a woman.
Yes.
That's what he's doing.
Yes. Grossly objectifying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have a lovely little canter.
Always gotta have one in these fucking movies, huh? But the
Always.
receptionist won't be administering his massage. Instead, predictably, it's going to be given by an older woman working there, and we get...
Hey man, old Asian women give the best massages. I can attest to this. Those old ladies down at that one place in Johnson City, they beat the shit out of you. But you know what? The next day, you feel like you are lighter than air. I've never had that happen before. Like, literally, I was sitting there, and I was thinking to myself, like, it can't be that bad. It's not going to be as bad as my mom described it. I lay down on that table, I feel an elbow go right into my shoulder blade. I'm like, oh, holy crap. And then she just, like, started, like, just going all the way around my shoulders, down my back, like, just at my neck, too, in the back of my head. And then I stood up later and I was like, ow, oh Lord, oh. Then I woke up the next morning and I was just like, holy crap, dude, that shit worked. Me and mom and Kate are planning another return trip. Maybe we need to take you up there sometime. See if they can work some magic on you.
Get an obvious and tired comedy routine as she cracks his body to pieces and pretends not to speak English. After they move on to Cenobite therapy, she leaves him to rest for a while.
Sleep.
Oh, he will, lady. He'll sleep long and hard. Some ash causes a fire to break out, and then a loose bolt or whatever knocks Isaac right onto his pins. Ouch. Yeah, dude, you're a goddamn mess. This effect was done using a combination of stick-on needles to put on PJ Burns' real body and a fake torso duplicate with needles he could actually pull out. Great work, effects team. Although the spurting fire doesn't quite manage to reach him, Isaac is finally killed when a Buddha statue falls and crushes his head to smithereens.
You have achieved enlightenment.
I bet that dude comes back as a tapeworm or something. Sam and Molly rekindle their relationship and make plans for both of them to go to Paris when Peter shows up and tells them about Isaac's death. They go to the spa where they see Bloodworth hanging out again. And thankfully, the third time's a charm and we actually get a bit of a scene with Tony Todd. Good thing it wasn't Candyman rules or else it would have taken 5 times for something to happen. Bloodworth is reluctant to help the kids even though this isn't his first time at the death rodeo.
It's just that I've seen this before. A lucky few survive the disaster, and then one by one, death comes for them all.
You know what? It took 5 movies, but Bloodworth has finally managed to give a succinct and understandable summary of this franchise's premise.
He's shorted death.
And with that framing of the issue, he also offers a way out. Take another person's life and make death whole again.
We kill someone, we get their life. Is that what you're telling me?
That's what I'm saying. Bye, y'all. As the kids process having to continue...
Yeah, you just had to put that into the mind of, like young Patrick Bateman over there.
Mm-hmm.
Without any more Tony Todd in this movie, Sam remembers that in his premonition, Molly never died. She successfully made it to safety across that bridge gap, so it turns out she doesn't have a death bounty on her head. Great news for Molly, but Peter takes it personally and thinks that Sam was being a little two-faced by only saving her.
Well, apparently you deserve to live more than Candace.
As for Nathan, he doesn't exactly believe...
Dude, I'm right here.
In Bloodworth's tales, but he still goes with Sam and Molly to find and warn Olivia. Olivia is at an appointment where she's finally getting the LASIK she's always wanted. That's not to say she's not nervous about the procedure though, which is entirely understandable, since yeah, it's shooting lasers into your eyeballs. But in real life, don't be scared, man, cause science. I can't wait to get it done one day. As long as it's not in a Final Destination movie, of course, where not even this teddy bear's eyes are safe when it comes to the procedure. The doctor leaves Olivia briefly.
Okay, right here, this is bullshit. The doctor will never, ever leave you during LASIK. It's either the doctor leaves to go do something, but someone will always be there with you to ensure you that everything's good. Like,
not to mention, if you had your eye held open like that, someone would have to be constantly putting in eye drops, or you would be in so much pain.
yes, of course. But for the sake of the movie, it's a forgivable one. But yeah, LASIK, I still have 20/10 vision, so I'm still good.
If I want to continue watching this, I have to not look at that eye being held open or my eye.
Need to go get a missing file.
Sorry, dude.
Don't
It's
think
all
a real
good.
doctor would
Okay, but actually,
do in this
sorry,
situation.
I'll
And in his
stop.
absence, we get an accident that begins with death's second. Doctor would do in this situation, and in his
Have some water.
Water.
absence, we get an accident that begins with Death's second favorite weapon, water, which you can always count on to mess with literally anything electronic.
Yep.
Olivia's head is so restrained that she can't reach the machine's controller, and instead knocks it to the ground where it activates the frickin' laser beam. Olivia's right eye is given the Alderaan treatment, but she manages to save her left one by sacrificing her hand. When Sam and Molly arrive to help her out, she ends up tripping over that Teddy's loose eyeball and tumbling through the high-story window. She dies after hitting a car windshield, which somehow manages to pop her own eye out in an imitation of the bear's. Agent Block, who's still kind of lurking around this movie, asks Sam and Molly to clue him in about what's going on, but they're unable to explain, really, anything. So, I guess we can just put Block's side plot back on the back burner. In the meantime, Sam and Molly have the requisite scene where they realize the whole death works in a certain order thing, and Sam realizes that Nathan would be the next one to go. Nathan is currently having another dispute with that Roy dude over the guy's total disrespect towards him. Roy's pissed about getting his hours cut, and while he yells at Nathan, things start to get dangerous. Nathan tries to push Roy out of the way, but instead accidentally pushes him right into the danger zone, and angry boy Roy falls to his death, ending up with a hook through his chin. And then his head, too.
Oh.
Nice. Peter goes to
Yeah, that one.
Brutal as hell.
Dennis and tells him what they all learned from blood work, and he comes pretty damn close to turning
Also,
this
I've
whole
seen
thing
hooks
into
like
a belt.
that. They're usually not that sharp on the end.
No, and they're not that long either.
Yeah.
Go experiment.
It's kill or be killed.
But instead of killing or being killed, Dennis just calls Agent Block and tells him about Peter's temper tantrum. Peter only grows more unstable after he goes to Roy's accident scene and accuses Nathan of killing the Union rep to save his own life.
So if the theory works, then you traded spots.
This must be the case, because Death's already moving on to Dennis, who arrives just in time to get a flying wrench to the dome. And what at first seems like the least graphic kill since the original movie, until, yep, there's the money shot. Gotta love that gore. Despite Death
Oh, come on. You cut out one of the best parts. Just like...
I forgot what it was. There was
It was
something
like,
that
it's like,
made me laugh.
it's like, so who's next? Wow, Dennis was next. And then Nathan's like, no shit.
Oh yeah, that was.
Dude, that was such a great part.
looming close to him, Sam still goes to work at the restaurant, which of course kind of has a 180 in the name. Spooky! There are a lot of potential occupational hazards every which way Sam looks, but you know how Death works by now. These kills are never going to be quick and obvious. Instead, Death lets Sam and Molly settle into a nice romantic dinner for two that blows through the restaurant's entire candle budget. They celebrate his Parisian apprenticeship, but get interrupted by Peter knocking at the door, looking real dark and scary, like he's ready to straight murder them, because that's exactly what he's here to do, right after a bit of liquid courage. See, he couldn't bring himself to kill anyone random on the street, no pedestrians on a corner or vagrants in an alley, but he still wants to trade someone's life for his own, and who better than Molly, who he doesn't think deserves to have lived over Candace. His attempt on her life is thwarted by Sam with a table, and Peter's gunshots are heard by Agent Block down the block, who calls them in and heads towards the restaurant. restaurant. Molly hides in the kitchen while Peter knocks Sam out cold, then turns on all the gas lines he can find to prime this place for a 3D explosion. Block shows up and tries to help Molly out, but he's shot from behind by Peter and succumbs quickly to the multiple bullets in his back. Cuba Gooding Jr. OJ better find himself a new head lawyer, stat. Having
Oh God, of course.
attacked and killed the Block, Peter has removed himself from death's list. But since he doesn't want to spend his new life behind bars, he goes to get rid of the only eyewitness to his crime. Somehow, Sam flies out of nowhere to slow Peter down, and then they get into an all-out kitchen fight! After a bit of scullery scuffling, Molly gets in on the action too, and when Peter goes to kill her, he's stopped by Sam with a skewer through the back, kind of evoking his impalement from the rebar pipes in the premonition. Anyone want some rotisserie, Fisher? Nah, bring the carver! After a very weird physical beat that makes me laugh every time, Sam and Molly embrace, happy that they've beaten death and are no longer on its list. 2 weeks later, they're boarding a plane, finally ready to move to Paris.
And right here is where I started noticing the familiarity with the first film. I was like, this looks awfully familiar. Where am I? I'm like, and then you start to notice this Walkman. And then you start to think, wait a second. All the stuff in this, none of it was new. Because that dude's phone was like
technology
super
shit
old.
from like the 90s and stuff.
Yeah. And then the bus and all of the televisions. It's like, wait a minute. No
Sam
way.
can start that apprenticeship. But wait a minute, Paris? And what's that airline's name? Voli? Oh no! Yeah, dude, turns out Sam and Molly are on Flight 180. And I'm kind of confused about that shot we just saw, because originally I assumed it was unused footage from the first movie. But while watching the behind the scenes stuff, I saw them say this.
They brought back some of the actors from the original series. They've lit it in the same way. I mean, they're recreating that whole plane sequence, but just extending it.
I can't tell if that's a joke or what, because I don't think all these actors would look exactly the same like this
11 years later, no.
Plus, they have the same extras sitting in the same seats, and in the foreground of this shot with Sam and Molly, I do not think that's Amanda Detmer or Devon Sawa.
No. I guarantee you, he meant like a lot of the actors from, the ones like not Devon Sawa, Amanda Detmer, Ali Larder, or who played Carter? Damn it. Brain not working.
So, I'm gonna have to call bullshit on this one, Chief. Anyway, with Alex Browning and his classmates getting removed, you know this plane's about to take off. Which, yes, means that Final Destination 5 is a surprise prequel. A pretty awesome twist that I sadly had spoiled long before I ever saw this movie.
God dang it, dude! Oh, that sucks.
Although, first time through, Chelsea caught it as soon as Isaac found that spa coupon. Spoopon? The ending, with the main characters failing to escape death, is a frequent motif in this series. But before, it was always played for laughs. This time through, it feels horrific as Sam and Molly realize that they're
Dust
screwed
in the
after
wind.
takeoff.
A kid had a panic attack and wanted off the plane. He said he had some kind of vision.
No. You actually feel sorry for Sam and Molly here, which may be more uncomfortable than laughing as shitty empty characters die, but I kinda like having that discomfort. That's emotion, man. Flight 180 breaks apart just as we saw in the original film, and since I already counted the 187 deaths in the kill count for that movie, I'm not gonna double count them here. They've already been accounted for in this kill count series, you know? All that's changed is we now know two more of their names. Molly, who gets sucked out of the plane and cut in half by the wing, and Sam, who stays inside the
incinerated.
cabin long enough to die from a fire, just like Alex Browning did in the OG Premonition. As the plane rains down fiery remnants, Nathan is at a bar honoring the man he accidentally killed. Oh, and looks like he frequented a certain racetrack there, huh? Another co-worker tells Nathan that Roy's autopsy revealed he was about to die from an enlarged blood vessel.
They said he'd be dead any day now.
Which apparently means that Roy's life wasn't up for trade, explaining why Nathan is killed by the bar collapsing under the plane wreckage. A kill that sends his severed arm flying towards the camera. Whoa. And no, I won't count other people in the bar because I don't see any of them definitively die. Eat it, pedants. How many people did death take down? Now
Also, the end credit song, If You Want Blood, You Got It by AC/DC, perfect song to end the credit, to like go into the end credits with.
Now that it's had more practice in 3D, let's find out and get to the numbers. And I'm gonna be very careful and not mess with anything so that I don't get killed. All right?
Okay.
Think I'm good. Ah! Oh God! Oh, where's that even coming from? Oh,
Must be one of the cat's laser nipples. I don't know.
94 new people died in Final Destination 5. And aside from the 86 bridge victims...
I see it. Fuck. Come on, dude. You got her folded up like a paperback.
Yeah, that's appropriate. Like,
I know, but Jesus.
The dead included 6 men and only 2 women, an inequality washed out by that sea of gray. With a runtime of 92 minutes, that left us with a kill on average just under every minute. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Candace. Hands and every other body part down. Of course.
Hands, feet, and face down.
Of course it deserves the gold medal. Where else are you gonna see shit like this?
yeah, where else are you gonna see someone's spine protruding from their back?
Yeah, this one was pretty dull. Honestly.
A gun kill? Do you even remember who you are, Final Destination? And the primo premonition for coolest kill seen only in a vision may be a surprise winner, because I'm gonna give it to Dennis.
Yes! Yeah. Yes! Easily my favorite premonition kill from this film, because it was so ridiculous, but it was so effective, considering that after the tar hits him, you literally see his hand peeling off the top of the... Oh, it's so good.
It's brutal as fuck.
I think his skin being melted by hot tar or asphalt or whatever has the best looking effects. Much better than Peter and his eye there. And also better than Sam, who gets a little scorpion kingy falling towards the camera.
Yeah.
And that's it. Final Destination 5 came out in 2011 and is the latest film in the franchise to date. The most recent news about the series is that it's getting a reboot by Patrick Melton and Marcus Dunstan, who took over writing the Saw movies from Lee Winnell and did parts 4, 5, 6, and my favorite, 3D. Hasn't been any news since January.
I could hear the ironic.
My favorite.
Yeah, and my favorite.
Though, so who knows? Next week kicks off Reanimator, one of my favorites. But until then, I'm James A. Jenyns. This has been The Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching.
Yeah, dude. Reanimator.
Yeah. Reanimator's a freaking nutty film, dude.
One of my favorites, too.
Big thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring this video so I could release the explicit version for free. Also big thanks to patrons.
So one of the few
support
cases of all time where the film might actually be slightly better than the book.
Well, I mean, that's how it is.
Like Gabe Gratchik.
Sometimes the movie is better. Rarely.
Very
rarely.
Very rarely for books.
Yes.
Mark Dehan, Bryson Whittington, James May, Devin Crowell, and Nathan Felsman. We're done with another franchise. What'd you think? I think these were some of my most in-depth episodes yet. Thanks, everyone. Be good people.
Very good work, James.
Very good indeed. So, yeah. Final Destination 5. What a trip, dude. What a trip. I'm just going to say it. The Final Destination films, I think, overall, are pretty damn good. Especially 1, 2, and 5. 3, I think, is passable. 4 is a hot mess. 3 definitely has some redeeming qualities to it. And also some parts of it that it works so well. And if it weren't for a few kerfuffles here and there, it could have been something great. But yeah, this franchise has been through a lot. And I can't wait to see if they continue it or if they just leave it be. Please leave it be. Please just leave. Actually, they already have guaranteed they're making another one.
Pretty confirmed they're not going to.
So yeah, I guess we got that to look forward to. Yay. Hopefully it's okay. So, until next time, everybody. Signing off, I'm Nate.
I am Nick.
Check out Dead Meat. Give James some love. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.